You've gotten right in the middle of part three. My name's Hammett. I'm telling a story about one of the darkest days of my life and what happened after that. In part three, we're going to talk about really the core of what I'm doing now to serve others. What happened? What was the gift out of this defining moment? If you haven't already seen part one or part two, make sure you go back to part one. So go to genehammett.com/part one. You can get the full context of how this happened, where I was in the beginning, and you can go to part two to figure out what did I do to really evolve and reflect back on what I was missing. Today in part three, I want to share with you kind of the ending to this story. And this story is not one of he falls down and gets back up and everything is easy. Because I decided to create a new business serving others as a coach, as an advisor, as a mentor. And that type of business is not the easiest in the world because a lot of people think they can do it on their own. You see, I grew a business to 5 million. I got coaches all around that journey, and I know how valuable it was. I've continued to get coaching to this day to see what I can't see for myself, to push me and challenge me. And I know the value of that. But too many people out there think they've got it all figured out and that they can just, talk to their friends or talk to their executive teams. I talk to a lot of leaders. I work with a lot of leaders just like you. And that's just not true. They need special conversations that go deep, allow them to really reflect and allow them to create these own defining moments of their lives. So in part three, I want to share with you just a little bit of the journey I had in becoming, a professional coach, a leadership coach, someone who focuses on growing companies and growing the leaders that growing those companies. I love what I do. All of this stems from, I remember getting coaching back in like 2002. My company was not even $1 million yet. And I'd gotten coaching from Linda. And Linda was a new coach at the time, and she had some gifts to ask the right questions. And I was very coachable. I was willing to take action on those questions and move forward systematically. And it changed my life and changed my business. So when everything had fallen apart and I reflected on what Linda had done for me, I wanted to give back in the same way. I had been through so much with my business and as a leader and building my team and growing it to this point that I had so much to give. And I even felt like losing everything would actually be a benefit to those that are going through tough times in their businesses. Sometimes you have to scale back or pivot, or sometimes you've lost money in some way. Sometimes you had been wronged by a partner, or your partner's not pulling his own weight or her own weight. I share this with you because I became a coach to serve leaders like yourself, founders, to evolve and push themselves to the next level, to create the systems and create frameworks around how they must grow and how they change their mindset and the strategy set and their heart set to move forward, to really step into who they should be. That's what I do now. That's what I love to do. I've been working with founders, growing their businesses from 1 million to 10 million. I've got many stories around how that's happened in 2 to 3 years. I've also been working with leaders that are already at 10, 20, 30 million to help them continue to evolve so that they can get to 50 and beyond. All of this is because I love transforming leaders. I love being a part of that journey. I do it one-on-one. I don't have these fancy groups. I love to just really get into the mix of it, in the trenches, if you will. That's what I love to do. That's who I want to be for the rest of my life. Is someone that can really activate someone to a higher level, call upon more courage and confidence, to help them be the leader that they want to be more visionary, help them get out of founder role to be the CEO so that they can lead the company and get out of the day-to-day so they can be more strategic, to relieve themselves of the pressure and the stress and the anxiety that comes with the leadership, to do it in a very clear, intentional way. Now, these are all aspects of the work I do. There's many pieces to it, but I wanted to share this with you. Because of that day, because of losing everything, I became who I am today. It was a gift. I'm able to give my gifts to others. I'm able to activate them and help them evolve as leaders. We do it in many different ways. I have some one-on-one coaching arrangements. We do some deep dives with leaders. I also have an event every year where we get to drive Porsches, and we have a 2-day leadership intensive in a small group, intimate setting. There's many different ways we could work together, but I'd love to connect with you and see where you are with your leadership. Where do you need to grow? Where do you need to evolve? It's really important understanding, because if no one is on your team is really pushing you and challenging you to grow, then you're probably going to be trapped by your own success. And that leads to complacency and drifting. My name's Gene Hammett. I work with fastest growing companies out there. I work with their leaders and their leadership teams to activate this level of growth, to take them from a place where they're already successful to a place where they're giving more impact. They're more visionary, more strategic. I'd love to work with you. If you have any interest in talking to me about your business, getting to know the work I do, and seeing if it's a fit, make sure you go to genehammett.com/Gene. Yep, genehammett.com/Gene, and it'll give you information where you can get on my schedule. Just a short conversation, and I promise not to sell you something. I just want to get to know you. All you have to do is go to genehammett.com/Gene. That's Gene. Well, I'm going to sign off here because I really want you to understand who I am and what I'm doing. If you're seeing this video, then you probably know a little bit about me, but I wanted you to know some real aspects of how I've transformed the leader I am and how I transform leaders to really be more courageous and confident. As always, lead with courage. We'll see you next time.